Fox 40 News at 6 starts now.
Davis police officer Natalie Corona responded to a triple car accident. During the investigation of the accident, shots were fired. Officer Corona sustained a gunshot injuries and was transported immediately to the UC Davis Medical Center, where she passed.
Mourning one of their own nearly 24 hours after the incident that led to Officer Natalie Corona's death, Davis police are still looking into what went wrong. Thanks for being with us tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm Nikki Lorenzo.
And I'm Eric Harriman. Officer Natalie Corona, only been a Davis police officer for less than a year, described during that time by her bosses as a rising star. She was shot and killed last night responding to a crash in the area of 5th and D Street right near downtown Davis. And immediately after she was shot, she was taken to UC Davis Medical Center, and that's where she died later in the night. The suspect accused of pulling the trigger was found dead in a home near 5th and E Streets from what police say appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And 22-year-old Corona had been an officer since July. After graduating from the Sacramento Police Academy, the Arbuckle native that's in Colusa County had only been on her own for a couple of weeks before she was killed last night. She is the first Davis police officer to be killed in the line of duty in almost 60 years. We have team coverage for you tonight on the death of Officer Corona from Davis to Colusa County. Yeah, we'll get started here with Doug Johnson, who is live in Arbuckle tonight, where that Corona police officer lived with her family. And Doug, we know that you were able to talk with her father. We know not an easy interview for you or for her father to give today.
It's certainly a tough time tonight, Eric and Nikki. Really a tough time for the whole town of Arbuckle. You know, this is the type of place where really everyone does know everyone. Even the gas station attendant that we spoke with today said he knew Natalie Corona. Meanwhile, the family says they are so grateful for the outpouring of support, and her father wants everyone to know that she really did die doing what she loves.
Natalie was the girl that would walk. She would walk into the room and she would light up the room.
Jose Merced Corona says he was at his other daughter's basketball game in Arbuckle when he got the news over the phone.
And he said, hey, I just want to let you know that there was an officer that was killed. He says, do you know if Natalie's working? And I said, no, I think she goes on later.
But Natalie Corona was in fact on duty at the time.
She died doing what she wanted to do, what she loved.
The 22-year-old would commute from her family's home in Arbuckle to work patrol in Davis. Her cousin, CHP Sergeant David Corona, says being a cop like her dad was always her dream.
Knew at a very young age that she wanted to follow in his footsteps and make a positive impact.
Natalie Corona grew up in Arbuckle, the oldest of 4 sisters.
Her sisters looked up to her. She was the greatest big sister that they could have had.
She attended Pierce High School and worked as a lifeguard at the local pool. But her father says being an officer was truly her calling.
And she just was a pleasant person to be around. She was friendly to everybody. She had a big smile on her face all the time. And I think she just had a good heart.
Now with her gone, her father says his family has no hate for the man who pulled the trigger.
And God decided to take her from us, but we're not angry. You know, we're going to get over this, and I think our faith is going to be will get us through this. It's going to take a while.
And Pierce High School, which is what I'm standing in front of here in Arbuckle, is still on winter break, but we're told it's going to be a very tough time for many of the teachers and faculty when they come back to class here on Monday, because of course many of them also knew Natalie Corona. Reporting live in Arbuckle tonight, Doug Johnson, Fox 40 News.
Truly heartbreaking, Doug. Thank you. And this morning, Officer Corona